Good morning, guys. Here is what we did at morning meeting. The first thing we talked about was the weather. So let me wheel you over there. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. The boys and girls again decided that it was sunny out today, which is awesome. You know, I'm thinking we should have put windy on for yesterday, but that's okay. So you can tell your adult something about this weather graph. You could stop the video and count how many sunny days we've had. You could tell them something about these ones. You could count how many more sunnies we need to get to the top. Okay, make sure you use that math language of more or equal. All right. Next, we read Oh, a Hunting We Will Go, and I taped that for you so you can watch that. We wrote the letter Q on our whiteboards. Mrs. Hicks is a little confused this morning with letters and numbers. The letter Q. So, circle right around, touch, stick the tongue out of your capital Q, and lowercase q is around, up, down, hook. So you can practice making those. I bet you're getting really good at those. Lowercase q is super tricky though. So if this is a little tricky for you, don't worry. You'll learn how to do it. You still have all of kindergarten left to learn it. And then we worked on the number 5. So remember, 5 is down, around, and come back up and put the top on. Okay? Down, around, come back up and put the top on. Number 5. That can be kind of a tricky number because this around part can sometimes be tricky for kids. So if it's tricky for you, remember that's okay. We talk about that's how we learn. We practice, practice, practice. Okay? Next, we read a book about Q. So it says all about Q. And look, this is the Q I was telling you about where they don't put the hook on it. Okay? And it's really confusing because it looks like P, but it's backwards. So all about Q. See if you can read this with me. Q is for Queen. And see how I'm putting my finger on the dots when I read each word? Q is for quiet. She's saying quiet. Q is for quilt. It's a pretty quilt. I don't have a quilt on my bed. I just have a blanket. I think I said that yesterday. Now they change the text on you. So instead of starting with Q, they start with this letter, which is also a word. I can find Q. And look, they have that kind of Q and this Q. Now what do they start with here again? I can type Q. So on your keyboard, there's your capital Q right in the corner. I know there's glare on my book, I'm sorry. I can write Q. So I wrote those Q's in there. So today, boys and girls, is Play-Doh Day. So you should have a Play-Doh mat that looks like this. And instead of them giving us the one with the curve, they gave us one with the slant like I did when I was a little girl. So let's talk about how many snakes you need. Remember, you're rolling snakes. That's going to make these hand muscles nice and strong. So 1 snake, 2 snakes. So you need a big long one for your Q, for your circle of your Q, and then a short one to stick his tongue out. Then you need 1 snake for the curved part and another long snake for this part. So you need 1 snake, 2 snakes, 3 snakes, 4 snakes. So you need 4 snakes today to make your capital Q and your lowercase q. Qua. All right, guys, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.